very talented Kyle McCutcheon out of Alamogordo, New Mexico in the Sundown Recovery 5, starting P1 right in front of the legendary Charles Davis. This ought to be fun.
Field lined up, stacked up, ready to go. Off of turn number 4.
A good-looking start for McCutcheon. He goes straight to the top side, 1 and 2, and launches off of turn number 2, and leads your field into 3. How about that? A great start. Oh, trouble! Off the starter, do we have a caution?
Caution is
Indeed.
out. As
No
they will
start.
call the start back.
A ragged start, they say, out of turn number 4. I don't believe the second row got away very well. I don't know that Kyle necessarily jumped the start. I don't believe that Joshua Hodges went with him.
Season. But Kyle McCutcheon going to set the pace down to the drop of the green flag. Joshua Hodges lining up to his right. Here we go.
Green flag in the air, Brian Holbert. Kyle McCutcheon gets away from the pole, goes straight to the top, 1 and 2, and just like the first verse, launches down the back straightaway, but not with as much of a lead this time. Battle for the lead, turn 3.
He's got company looking to the inside, trying to take it away. Not going to happen, though. McCutcheon will lead on lap number 1. The 91 of Anton Hernandez right now running in second. Looking down to that bottom side of the speedway as we just about had a 3-car battle, and a good one for the race lead right now. McCutcheon on the outside holds on to it.
Meanwhile, the Don Grable in the 148, keeping your top 2 in tow as they go wheel to wheel for the top spot. McCutcheon way up high in turns 1 and 2, still maintaining the lead down the back straightaway.
Boy, Don Grable was skyward there for a second. That third spot, he brought it back down, and he is right there, keeping your top 2 honest right now as McCutcheon continues to lead in the Sundown Recovery number 5. Hernandez still running that second spot. Don Grable running in third, and he's got company starting to close into that 4th spot as well.
So your top 4 runners have gotten away. Your top 2 still wheel to wheel out of turn number 4. Anton Hernandez and Kyle McCutcheon putting on a show in the opening laps. McCutcheon carries the momentum and the lead off of turn number 2.
Good battle for the 5th spot right now. The 74X of Joshua Hodges has it. You have the 47 in the mix as well. Charles Davis Jr. as they'll work through turns 3 and 4. Everybody bouncing their way through the ruts here is up front. Again, your top 4. Everybody right there on top of each other. McCutcheon going to work on slower traffic. He'll get around the 88 of Mike Zeal to put him a lap down. Jockeying up for that 2nd spot. We'll see who has as they work around to the front straightway. It will be the Don Grable up into 2nd now.
Everybody, oh, Grable nearly airborne through turns 1 and 2. Not nearly, but was all 4 off the ground. And we stay green flag racing, still on the bumper of the 5 of McCutcheon for
into
the lead.
Slower traffic into turns 1 and 2. Down to the inside goes Don Grable. He has the race lead. McCutcheon fighting back to the outside. McCutcheon's going to hold on to it into turns 3 and 4.
It's Alamogordo, New Mexico's Kyle McCutcheon with the lead off the top side of turn number 4. Grable didn't get off very well. That allows Anton Hernandez to close in for 2nd.
Boy, Grable was about half airborne when he came up in turn number 4, so the tires were going, but he wasn't as he's held up by the slower traffic. Now problems for Zach Taylor. The 86 machine rolling to a stop on the outside exit at turn number 2. That will draw the caution.
Just as we forecast, Brian Holbert, those ruts to the mid-low side of turn number 2, creating havoc for the field. Don Grable getting airborne just a couple of laps ago. Caution on the speedway.
As we get ready to go back to green, 22 laps remain here in a main competition for your non-wing sprint cars.
Right now, Las Cruces, Rick Zeal lining up 5th. Green flag drops. Kyle McCutcheon drops the hammer as well. Gets a good restart from the hub of turn number 4. And for the first time, we see him go to the hub in 1 and 2. Lead your field down the back straightaway.
Changing up the line a little bit in turns 1 and 2. He's going to go back to the high side of turns 3 and 4, but he's opened the door on the bottom side. Here comes Grable. Don Grable, the Don, going into the race lead, and Hernandez is going to follow him up into 2nd. McCutcheon, he's going to say, forget that bottom side. I'm going back to the top.
No kidding. Don Grable, Anton Hernandez taking over the top 2 positions. McCutcheon shuffled back to the 3rd spot as the 74 of Josh Hodges right now running 4th. Rick Zeal still 5th, but not so fast as Charles Davis cracks the top 5, gets by Zeal.
Charles Davis gets by him, and boy, Don Grable was all kinds of upset in turns 1 and 2. He bobbles a little bit in turns 3 and 4, and you've got a new leader. Anton Hernandez going to take it away. Anton Hernandez takes over the top spot. Here comes McCutcheon trying to charge back, and he has got the driver at the head of New Mexico. Josh Hodges chasing them down as well.
And Charles Davis Jr., Rick Zeal in tow as well. We've got 6 very fast hot rods in contention nearing the halfway point of tonight's Griffin Propane non-wing 360A main event. Right now, the 148 of Don Grable looking to run down the 91 of Anton Hernandez with about a 10-car length gap.
Kyle McCutcheon with problems, rolling slow to the high side of turn number 1 after an absolutely incredible run here tonight. He's going to draw the caution. He's still rolling, but slowly as he hits the back straightaway. We'll see if he's able to make it to the work area.
Boy, you hate to see that. Motioning out the side, to the left side of the car, Brian. Can't actually tell what he's pointing. Maybe a flat left front?
And it looks like he's going to make the turn to the pit area.
His night's over. Top break. Kyle McCutcheon, one of the nicest guys I've met down here. And a very, very talented driver.
Wild behind the wheel in just about everything he has ever driven. Unfortunately, his night coming to a close at 17 laps from its scheduled finish.
Running 9th, and then Colt Treehorn rounds out your top 10 with 17 laps to go. Green flag flies this time by an outstanding start by Anton Hernandez.
Hernandez going to the middle of the racetrack through turns 1 and 2. Grable around the bottom. The 74.
Ooh, Zeal.
Joshua Hodges running in that 3rd spot. Then you've got Charles Davis Jr. running in 4th. Rick Zeal rounding out your top 5 right now. Peeking to the outside a little bit as he wheel stands into the front straightaway. Giving chase to him is going to be the 9 of Robert Herrera. Herrera trying to look for room to run to the outside, but Zeal off of the bottom too strong as they work to the back straightaway.
Outstanding run thus far, Brian Holbert, with 15 to go. We're halfway home by Robert Herrera in the Coronado Finance Jackson Compaction number 9. He's cracked the top 10 right now, running in the 6th spot, just outside the top 5.
You know, he started 11th. He's just been patiently, slowly making his way up through the field as we've got one around on the bottom side, entering turn number 2. That will draw the caution lights back on.
So we've got one around down there on the hub of turn number 2. Caution on the speedway. Rue Stone playing general manager / track helper down there in turn 2. Meanwhile, Anton Hernandez had been enjoying a very comfortable margin upon that outstanding restart from the drop of the green flag 2 laps ago.
A little bit. Josh Hodges again lining up at that 3rd spot. Charles Davis and Rick Zeal rounding out your top 5 with 15 laps to go. Set to go back at.
Want to welcome you all watching live on Speed Shift. Green flag flies with 15 to go. And Hernandez gets a really good start and launches down the back straightaway, about a 15-car length lead over Grable. And now Hodges bobbles a little bit in turn 3, loses ground. Charles Davis Jr. closing on the 3rd spot. We've gone one off the pace in turn number 4. And he's frantically waving his left hand. Is that Sean Deskin? Indeed it is. Sean Deskin off the pace with 14. Well, I don't know if we'll count that. We will count that lap, so just past a halfway point, like 4th or 5th caution of the race. Not sure the culprit, but Sean Deskin in the Just Racing 7 out of Waddell, Arizona, off the pace in turn number 4, as I do believe he was running solidly in the top 10 as well.
Set to go back to green this time at the exit of the 4th turn. The track getting really interesting here in the later stages of this feature event.
Very technical.
As they go back to green, Hernandez.
Look at Robert Herrera. Herrera gets a good start. Brian Holbert cracks the top 5, gets around Charles Davis for 4th.
Boy, he worked to the outside on the restart, timed it well, and he was able to get up and get to the outside of Zeal, able to get to the outside of Davis. Davis battling back to his inside right now. Good race for the 4th spot.
Meanwhile, back up front, your leader, Anton Hernandez, making quick work of the field, extending his lead over the 148 of Grable as your top three runners make their way out of turn number 4. Joshua Hodges is clear to the 4th spot, and he has set sail and's got his sights set on the Don, the 148 running second.
Anton Hernandez right now just under a half a straightaway advantage for the driver of the number 91 machine. Don Grable running in second, Joshua Hodges in third. Charles Davis up in 4th in the battle for 5th right now. Rick Seal has it back from the 9 of Robert Herrera, going to drop him back to the 6th spot. 3 wide for 7th though as they work to the back straightaway.
Casey Schumann, Michael Finelli, Schumann on the bottom, Finelli on the top, and it was Treehorn in the middle. They were getting after it, and this time by with 9 laps to go, your leader, oh look out, we've got one off the pace, nearly shook things up, but Anton Hernandez hanging on to the lead, but Greg Little in the Brandon Shure Motorsports Western Tech number 23 out of El Paso, Texas, off the pace, caution on the speedway with 10 to go.
So mechanical problems for the wily veteran. He will bring it to a stop over in turns 1 and 2.
Caution marred, Brian Holbert. We've had a lot of yellows waving in this one. And unbelievably, with the surface as choppy as it is over there upon the exit of turn number 2, we ain't got anybody upside down yet.
Knock on wood.
Don Grable still running second. Josh Hodges still running third. Does the old cat in the hat, Charles Davis Jr., in the beautifully prepared banana yellow 47 in memory of his father, right now running 4th. Does he have anything for him? Rick Zeal still rounds out your top 5 as Robert Herrera has been shuffled back to 6. Here we go, Brian.
Casey Schumann lining up in 7th, Colt Trehard in 8th as we go back to green.
Oh, your leader bobbles. And so did the second place car. So no harm, no foul. Anton Hernandez leads the field into turn number 3, about a 3-car length lead as they make their way out of turn number 4. Your top 2 runners have gotten away from Josh Hodges.
Most of the field abandoning the top side of the speedway. Just a couple of drivers stepping out there now. Spencer Hill going to be one of those drivers trying that top line. Everybody pretty much around the bottom. About the middle is as high as they're going right now, as it continues to be Hernandez leading. He has 8 more times around. Grable had lost some ground on the restart. He's close in a few car lengths as they work to the backside of the speedway.
Now the battle on the speedway right now is for that 6th spot. Casey Schumann, Robert Herrera. Schumann gets cleared of the 9 of Herrera and takes over the 6th spot, but he's got a ways to go, a full straightaway, if he wants to crack the top 5. This time by, there'll be 6 to go, and a very nice little cushion. Well, not so fast, but a decent cushion still for Anton Hernandez.
Don Grable closed it in within a couple of car lengths and lost some of that ground bobbles again in turns 1 and 2. Going to give a few more car lengths back as they work to the backside of the speedway. Hodges has Charles Davis Jr. stalking him around the Vado Speedway Park as he keeps it upright. Robert Herrera.
How did he keep that on all 4s?
He went every direction but the wrong direction on that one as we saw the belly pan, the top. We even figured out what kind of axle he's running.
If you pay attention down there right now, the hub, right in the middle of 1 and 2, there is a moon-sized crater. Unbelievable to see how these guys are maneuvering through it. Everyone going airborne for those who choose to go through it.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Your leader's driving right through it.
Right through it.
That's where he is really able to just drive away as he is now held up by a slow machine. Oh, he just clipped the inside tire.
That'll take
and that
care
left
of it.
front looked like it was pointing in the wrong direction. We'll see if he proves me wrong here.
He won't be able to hold on.
Oh, he's got severe suspension damage, and Grable is there to capitalize as they work to the backside of the Vado Speedway Park. We have 3 to go. Going to make it 2 to go this time. And Grable going to split between the 91 and a slower machine, and he's going to take over the race lead.
So El Paso's Don Grable takes over the misfortunes of Anton. Now Hernandez through that hole
He
again.
is doing everything he can to stay on the racetrack. That left front is going every direction but the right direction as they come
like
around.
The frame is dragging the
Oh, it is.
And so the white flag waves, Brian. Take us home.
Off into turns 1 and 2 with a broken front axle. He's going to look for the race lead to the back straightaway.
No
he gets it away from Don Grable. Can Grable get back around him?
3 cars.
With a broken front axle. Anton Hernandez works on a turn number 4, and he reclaims the lead, and he gets the win. Wow!
And oh, by the way, a drag race to the line, less than a wheel's width. Give it to Don Grable for the 2nd spot. Charles Davis Jr. finished 3rd. Brian, we've seen a lot of stuff. but that takes the cake, brother.
What was it you say, been to 2 go ropings
I've
and a
been
county
to
fair?
3 state
I ain't
fairs
never
and
seen
2
nothing
go
like
ropings,
that.
and I never seen nothing like that. That's courtesy of my buddy Big O, standing right over our shoulder. One of the most unbelievable finishes that we've seen in quite some time. We everything but wrote off Anton Hernandez. An unbelievable effort.
That goes to show you, never give up.
Never, ever give up. So, yes, sir. For those of you in attendance tonight, night number 1 of the Turkey Bowl here at the Vado Speedway Park, do you believe what you just saw? And did you get your money's worth? How about that? Arlington, Texas, Anton Hernandez, winner, night number 1 here at the Vado Speedway Park. And when was the last time, ladies and gentlemen, you saw a car getting towed on the hook to victory lane? He's out of the car. He can hear you. Give him a big round of applause. Anton Hernandez, your winner tonight at the Turkey Bowl, night number 1. Brian Hulbert, let's send her down to you.
Wild finish here tonight at the Vado Speedway Park. Race fans, make some noise for Anton Hernandez. Well, Anton, you came up there and you told us I'm going to have to go work on this thing to get it around the racetrack. Well, you certainly got it done, got up there and got the race lead. I guess you decided you needed a challenge down there. The Uke tire usually wins. In this case, you showed it up.
Yeah, I was just getting a little too antsy there with lap traffic, and I knew he was going to be close behind, so I was trying to get around lap traffic as quick as I could, and he was right there, and he took advantage of it, and my front end broke. I have no idea how we finished that race, but man, if I really want to thank Roger Oakes for the ride. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here, and big thanks for my dad and Rick for driving me out here and be with family and just get to do this with me, and thanks for all the fans that stayed and got to come watch this race. I hope we put on a good show, and thanks for all the crew. This is definitely a really nice facility. I can't wait for tomorrow.
I have to ask, on the last lap, when you saw that hole open up and you had a shot to go for it, aside from every 4-letter word telling you to go for it, what was going through your mind?
Really just trying to get through that hole. I saw in the last race, another guy did it and kind of made an oopsie, but I just drove through it straight, and he messed up and pushed, and I was like, well, this is my chance, so I just gassed it, got up in front of him, and I was like, okay, well, we just got to make it through 3 and 4, and we did, thankfully, but yeah, it was a fun race. It was a long and bumpy one. I'm a little tired, but I think tomorrow will be a better night.
Well, you got enough money tonight to go ahead and get a new front axle in this thing. Race fans, one more time for Anton Hernandez. So a fantastic night of racing to open up the inaugural Turkey Bowl here at the Vado Speedway Park. As with that, we go back up top to Ruben and Scotty.